What's up? What's up? What's going on, man? This is SEKHIBAAZ. Welcome to SEKHIBAAZ. Also known as bhostfuhl. I got
So,
Tavo and my guy Nell. This Big P right here. We're gonna do a quick intro to let everybody know who we is, man.
let's do it. Let's
So
do it.
go ahead first. We're gonna start with Nell.
All right, man. My name is Neil. As you heard, first of all, thank y'all for watching Boastful. I'm an upcoming influencer. If you guys don't know, you can check me out at ktx.nel on Instagram and everything else.
Uh, Tavo.
The table, baby. What's up, baby? You rocking with the best.
All
Let's
right, this
go.
Big P, man. I'm just a motivator, inspirational speaker. Just trying to give people good knowledge and help people get intelligence on just um, tech, uh, anything you need. But we're gonna go ahead on and we're gonna talk about what does Sekibaz mean? What does it represent? It basically just like I said, it's boastful speaking. So be boastful when you speak. And always speak with intelligence and
Mhm.
always have facts when you're speaking.
Right, right.
Next we're gonna talk about how we all came together. We're gonna let Nell speak on that.
All right, y'all. Basically, we came together for the podcast. Originally, we're family. To be honest, we was always talking about how we want to be pillars in the community. Basically, be really inspirational to our crowd. Anybody that's watching us. So anybody we come across, we pretty much want to motivate. So that's how we came together. Um, like I said, I'm an influencer, so I was always on social media, just trying to do my thing, but these guys pretty much inspired me to come together on a podcast and use our talents to talk to the community. So,
Um, we're gonna have Tiwan give us something personal that he want to speak on, just why we came together, just from his point of view.
Mhm. We came together. Well, I'm big on my story. So I'm from New Orleans. Growing up there it was rough. But when I was 12 years old, me and my family were living in a house, and we had this incident where they was shooting on the side of the house. Somebody got killed. They crashed and hit the gate into somebody's front yard. And that was basically like our last straw living out there because my mom didn't want us to see that as children. So we got up, moved, came to Texas for a better life so we can do better. So we don't have to see those type of things in the streets. And that's why I'm here today in Texas.
Appreciate that, man.
appreciate
Um, yeah, this story, well, this show was just basically inspired by just having talks. We always have talks. I always try to motivate these guys. I'm the oldest here, and just try to motivate them to do better, whether it's education or whether it's just following your dream, or just going and doing what you want to do. I always try to help them pursue what it is that they want to do. I don't try to push things on them, and I'm kind of big on that. Just intelligence. Whatever you do, just be intelligent with it. Just make sure you that's what you want to do. Make sure you're happy doing it, and you know just always put your best foot forward. Um, Next, we want to talk about what do you guys think is, just personally speaking, what do you guys think from your point of view? What are some of the challenges in the black community?
it. So in my opinion, I feel like challenges in the black community, there's a handful of them, but I feel like some of the main challenges is basically us coming together as a unit. I feel like unity is very important, especially in our community. Um, but I feel like we fight against each other rather than working together, like helping the next man win or just helping us win in general. Um, so that's my first thing. I feel like we need to stop like fighting against each other, but it starts in the household. I feel like there's things that we need to learn from our parents that we carry outside of the house, and people look at us a certain way when we maybe present ourselves the wrong way. You know,
Okay.
that's one of the biggest problems I feel like.
And just to piggyback off of him, I feel like we should have both parents in the house, and because we need both parents to teach us, and not just one. Because coming from, you need a female and you need a male perspective while you're in the house with them. Because going out there in the world and not knowing anything, just going in there blind, you can do all kind of bad things that you wouldn't do if you had both parents in the house. Like me, for instance, I grew up with just my mom and two sisters. I didn't really have my father in the house with me, so I ain't had that male role model to look up to growing up. So all I had was the female perspective. She tried to raise me as best she could by herself, me and my two sisters. So I think that's one of the things we need to change in the community, but having both parents in the house, and that would change a lot.
Definitely.
Okay. So next question I got for you guys. Just as you guys being, two young adults, y'all just not coming into your own and really getting out here in the world, in the real world. What do you think? Um, what type of mindset you think you need nowadays to make it in this environment that we in? And also, what do you guys think about that 25 to 35 age group? What do you think about um, young parenting? Like, what advice you think you can give them as far as for like raising kids nowadays?
Uh, I feel like young parenting. I feel like a lot of times we're still learning things. Like, say if you're a young parent, I feel like you're still learning a lot. So I think you really need to like take your time. And one thing I see a lot is that when you're young and you're a parent, I feel like you try to live through your kid. And I don't feel like that's personally, I don't feel like that's right. I feel like you should find out who your kid is, even though they don't have their full personality yet.
Hmm.
These kids still develop certain traits and certain things that just make them because your kid isn't you,
Hmm.
it's an image of you, like, and they develop certain things when they're outside in the world, and they're developing different traits, different personality, they're around different people. So I feel like we need to get a hold of who your kid is, find out the things that they like to do, find out the things they don't like, obviously, but why not just try to figure out who your kid is and who, like, what do they want to do, and try to help them with it rather than push them to do something that they don't want to do, you know? So,
You got anything on that? Like, what do you think when it come down to like parenting at a young age and like what they can change as far as for so basically what I'm trying to ask in a sense is, you know, a parent can only give you what they know. So of course they're gonna piggyback off of what their parent taught them and try to give you that same thing. How do you think we as a culture can break that and change different things, to elevate our kids in a sense further to get them to go further than what we want. What you think some things
I
that
think
can
so.
be changed?
Just first of all, we shouldn't be having kids at a young age. I feel like we should be having it at an appropriate
But
age.
if you
Safe
could
sex,
change
you know what
that.
I'm saying? Even if it happens, I feel like you should get help from your parents since you don't like fully know how to navigate through certain things,
definitely.
and because you need your parents to teach you and show you the way. Because you probably don't know, you probably know to do this and that with a kid at a young age,
Hmm.
and your parents already been through it with the kids she got. So to get knowledge from your parents,
Well, how is that going to change anything if you're, say, for instance, you're not happy where you're at? Why would you go back to something that you're trying to get away from, in a sense?
I mean, you can always go to somebody outside your family if you feel like your family is not the option to go or talk to about it, because they got a lot of people outside that got knowledge in these type of things because they've been through it with being a young adult, been having kids.
Okay.
Okay, so what do you guys think about education in a sense when it comes to the black community? Do you
Um,
think I guess what I'm saying is education important or it's just self knowledge important?
that's that's a good question. When we talk about education, I feel like everybody reverts to, oh, you need to go to high school, you need to go to college. Obviously, yes, graduate high school, try your best to graduate college, but you have to realize there's a lot of people in this world that are very educated who haven't finished college or some that haven't even finished high school. I feel like education is what you make it in the sense because it's a lot of things that you can learn in the world today on a daily basis, and you can learn so much. And I feel like people just press education, education, but a lot of times people don't really know what education is. Educating can be there's self-education, like self-education, I feel like that's very important, but you can combine the two, you know. So in my opinion, yes, education is very important, but don't try to I feel like a lot of people try to tell people that they're not educated just because they don't have a certain degree, you know, or certain things like that. um so I'm gonna let you take the floor, but I do have more to say. But go ahead.
What do you think?
Dude, I think education is a key thing for us in the black community to get knowledge on things that we don't know
Mhm.
and that we should know because we need that in life to be successful, to be educated. Like I feel like you don't need to go to school to be educated. You can
Right.
be educated just by everyday life going around and learning from mistakes and like
That's common knowledge.
yeah,
Yes.
because going to school like they're really not teaching us the right things in school. I feel like
Right.
I feel like if they teach us about how the world works outside of school, like what's it gonna be like outside of school after you graduate, after you finish school, high school.
Well, I gotta kind of disagree. I mean, I think that you know education is important, and I feel like you should treat that as a job. Like I feel
True.
like when you're in school, they basically give you the surface, kind of what you need, but you got to dig. It's up to you to dig a little deeper to learn more when it come to those things. Because it's just like, let's say for instance, how I went to school for information technology,
Right.
and my minor is in cloud technology. Like they gave us the surface things that we need as far as for like to do applications and building different things and learning how to code. Like yeah, you learn the basic knowledge, but
True.
it's up to you to dig further to learn more about these things. So
Right.
these are things that I feel that need to be taught in our community,
True.
Like I feel like we blame a lot of people for things that we shouldn't blame them for, just like, and that's why I kind of got on there and touch. I don't mean to attack you guys, but
Nah, you're
like
right. You're right.
we kind of we're blaming the school system about what they're teaching us in a sense, but it's
True.
not that we're not being taught. Yeah, they're giving you what you need, but we're not digging further in a
Mm.
sense. That's how I feel about it. So, but we'll talk about that
I
a little more. So that gonna basically touch on what I'm gonna ask you guys next about changing your mindset. Like,
okay.
what can we do as people, you know, to help others change their mindset? Like, what do you think about mindset when it comes to that in the black community?
I feel like our mindset, and I'm not speaking for all, but some, there's a good portion of blacks that just think very small. Like it's like we're in this bubble, you know, and I feel like we need to go outside of that bubble, expand our range on what we're learning and what we're willing to learn. You know, I feel like the way we the way we network is like it's terrible sometimes. We don't really want to like get into, let's say for instance, like technology and stuff.
Mhm.
I don't feel like we know enough about technology like we need to, you know? Like it's certain things that we need to learn that we just don't know, you know? So that's one part, like, to be honest. So
I feel like we change our mindset in a sense of like knowing what you can and can't do because it's not a limit to what you can do. Like instead of just want to do one thing, like just playing football, like that's the only thing you thought about doing. Instead of trying to be a lawyer, a doctor, or somebody that's going to help contribute to the community in that aspect. And I feel like if we can reach that mindset of want to be something else besides ball players, we would be better off because we because we need more doctors, we need more lawyers, we need more everything to help us. Because some black people just go down the wrong path and they do bad things, and they need lawyers, and some of these lawyers really don't be helping us. We just go to jail, rot in jail, gets so it's like we need lawyers to get help us as a community to get out of stuff that the society put on us, like bad stigmas. Like,
Okay, yeah, I see where you're going with it.
Sure.
Okay, so next, my next question is so that's y'all got some good stuff, man. Um, do you think that the mindset thing should totally be blamed on parents, or do you think this is something as far as for with the parents and the kids in a sense? Let's result. Let's say like, sorry. Let's say like older kids in a sense. Let's talk
Mhm.
about like from 16 to mm, college age, like 21.
I feel like I feel like once you hit a certain age, uh, you should know like when your mindset is like messed up a little bit, like because you could tell the road that you're going down, you know. And sometimes some people are just blind, like to where they can't see it. But it's like you can't just blame your parents. You can't blame your surroundings for so long because then you're just gonna be stagnant. You're just gonna be stuck in one place. So I feel like once you hit a certain age, you can't blame your parents anymore. Mindset is a thing that can be changed by yourself, literally. Like you know what you want to do in life, you know where you want to go, you know what's good and bad. You have a conscience, you know, when you hit a certain age. Um, so no, I feel like mindset is a self thing. That's a that's a internal thing that you have to know. So no, I feel like you can't blame your parents from when you hit a certain age. So
So when do you think is the appropriate age for someone to start taking accountability for not because you guys have a lot more resources than what I had coming up in the sense, like
yeah,
a lot of things y'all really can't so say fault your parents for because
true.
like once you get to that high school mark, I mean even middle school for you guys, because like a lot of things are more advanced. If you're like paying attention and
Hmm. So
what age you think
age,
you start taking accountability for you know
I say,
you not learning in the sense.
uh, man, it's as soon as you like hit high school, to be honest, in my opinion, because that's when you're coming into your own. You know, you're responsible for your own decisions. Let's say, for example, you make a bad decision with some friends or something like that, and you like in ninth grade, you're old enough to know right from wrong. You're old enough to know what you're supposed to be doing. You know, at the end of the day, you're here for a reason. You
Mhm.
know, so I feel like as soon as you hit high school, really, and we're far more advanced. We see stuff on the internet 25/8. The average person is on their phone for countless hours a day. So it's like, and you're seeing the world for what it is, you know. So it's like you should be taking accountability for your actions. It's like as soon as you hit high school, you know. That's my opinion.
What do you think?
shoot, yeah, I think what he said is when you come into your own in high school, like there's no more fault nobody for what you're not doing or what you're not achieving
Mhm.
because you old enough to go out there and get what you think you deserve or what you think you should have achieved already. Can't just sit there and keep blaming everybody for what's not happening for you in your life. You gotta go out there and grasp it, because otherwise you're gonna be sitting there keep blaming everybody about your failure, and you don't want to keep doing that because that's gonna make you depressed inside. But just keep blaming everybody about what you're not achieving and what you're not doing. I feel like mindset is what you make it.
Okay,
That's real.
so if you had to go back and change two things in life, and you get a chance to go back to, let's say, 10th grade in a sense, start from that. If you get a chance to change two things, what would
Man,
those things be
I don't know. You
to
want to go
make you a
first?
better
Man,
person right now, to put you on a
shoot,
better path?
I got a couple, bro. Good, making good grades, making good grades,
Definitely.
and paying attention in class to my teachers. Cause I didn't do that. I mean, I had a 1.9 coming out the ninth grade. That's bad. And I wish I could go back and tell myself to study and stay at the school, talk to the teachers, and maybe I would have had good grades and I would have went further to college. But I went to college, but it's just like it wasn't like a college to me, in a sense.
Now, is that something you'll say was your result of how you was raised, or was that personal?
I feel like how I was raised, because I would say nobody in my family ever went to college, so
But
I thought just getting a diploma was it. Like that was just, oh, that was the goal, and I ain't think no further past that. And yeah,
So, man, for the life of me, I like what you said. Take your education serious. If you don't do nothing, take your education serious. This thing can take you places. My thing is, when I was in high school, you said 10th grade. So at that time, I was just focused on playing my sport, to be honest. I was just focused on playing football, and I didn't see other things around me. Like nothing else mattered, you know? And that's like what you call a one track mind. So for the life of me, please focus on your grades. Like literally. That's one thing I could change. Like if I could go back, that's one thing I would take more serious. Just focusing on my grades and like just leaving the other stuff alone because it's gonna come. Like the things you see, it's gonna come as you grow and if you're doing the right things. You know, the things that you want, the things that you dream of, you control your own destiny in a sense, to be honest. Like, and it's based off of the decisions that you make, and that's what we mean when we talk about mindset, decision making. You know, that's that's one thing I would change. I would completely change my mindset to focusing on my education and going to college, getting involved in these different programs. Like people make fun of the programs like robotics and stuff, and what is it, ROTC, stuff like that, stuff that actually like gets you places, you know, and get around people who want to do something, you know, like
yeah,
not just clowning around in the hallway and just
yeah. Cause you were chasing them girls. You
like
were chasing them girls in school now.
literally, like, bro, the things, focus on the things that's really important. Like, go be a doctor, go be a lawyer, stuff like that. The stuff that you make fun of, you need to try to look into rather than just focus on being cool. That's not, you know, that's what I would change, bro, to be honest. So, it's my answer.
okay. Um. So, what do you think are some things that can be done to change these narratives?
Man, things that can be done to change these narratives. I feel like make the stuff that we downplay, make it cool. You know, make it cool to be successful. Make
And
it
what?
cool to be somebody. Like for instance, you were talking about your like degrees. So make it cool to do those things like tech and stuff like that. Tech is huge. You know, just IT in general is huge. Technology is moving around us every day and it's growing. And a lot of people don't realize it, you know.
Hmm.
So I feel like make these jobs more cool. Let people know, oh, if you do this, you're gonna be able to get into this field, or you know, if you get this degree, you're gonna be able to do this in life. You're gonna make this much in life. You know what I'm saying? Like to change the narrative, I feel like we need to give more knowledge and we need to dig deeper into what's really going on in the world today. Like let's not think so small, you know? That's how we're gonna change the narrative. Like not thinking small, you know?
And I feel like if it don't start in home with the parents first teaching you, I feel like
Literally.
you didn't fail already walking out the door, not learning from what your parents been through already. Like they've been through a lot already. They already in that age where they then learned a lot, seen a lot, been through a lot. And I feel like if y'all can, if we can learn from right there first, then going to school, learn from there. I feel like all that knowledge come together, you'll be well prepared going into life or going into whatever you trying to do in life. To be honest,
When you say change the narrative, also like I feel like I'm thinking pretty broad. Like I feel like I'm thinking about one topic, like what narrative
It's not.
in
It's not really broad. I mean, like, what
like
what can let's start with us for instance. I mean, we have this podcast and we're trying to reach people. What
mhm,
can we as people do to bring different things to the community in a sense to not just help the kids in the sense like to help these adults like that's stuck with these dead end jobs and these different things
right,
that's because I kind of feel like that's important too. I mean, if you're working a regular 9 to 5 and you're not happy, um if you're not happy, everybody around you're not gonna be happy in a sense.
that's true.
So if you're not doing nothing to motivate yourself, how you gonna come home and motivate your kid in a sense?
Exactly.
So what can we do to reach these people and not only that, like get out and motivate too, like put different things out, just to like we have like different events, like there's events called coding coffee for people that's in tech, and it's for people that's not even in tech. Like we open that community up to,
Right.
like different people that don't know,
First,
what can we do to bring different things to people's attention in a sense?
yeah, I feel like these first off these events, like these networking events, like they're huge and people don't realize it. And it's because like you're not looking for them. You know what I mean? Like, say for instance, if you're in a 9 to 5 that you don't like, you have to first off you have to want more, and you have to take yourself serious as well. I feel like a lot of people just don't want it enough. Like they want it, but it's like you're not working to go get it. And also you have to realize it's not impossible. Like it's not impossible to make the things happen that's in your head that you're thinking about every day. Like say for instance, like we're on this podcast, it's not impossible. Like you can do these things, but to change the narrative, you have to want it. Like you have to want to get out and go network with these people. Like don't just say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that," and you're not changing it. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing anything to take that step. Like the hardest thing is starting, literally. When you want to do something, the hardest thing is starting. After that, it's like you just got to stay consistent in doing what you want to do.
Hmm.
So it's I feel like to change the narrative, you just have to know that it's not impossible to actually change the narrative. You know,
well, to add to that, I think we need self motivation. That's the biggest thing because you ain't gonna always have somebody in your corner motivating you to do this, motivating you to do that. You gotta have yourself in your head, thinking in your head, "Oh, I can do this. I can do this." Because you you come out the womb by yourself, so you gotta have that motivation in you to do stuff and not be scared. Take that risk, jump out there in the water,
literally.
dip your toe in there. Because I'm just like that. I was shy, not want to talk to people
Right.
in my little shell. But these people right here to the left of me, they gave me that confidence, and I just go around with myself
Right.
confidence and self motive. I self motivate myself every day to get up to go to work, even though I don't like working, but I know I need to get that money to do what I need to do, like pay bills. So I got that self motivation. Like every time I wake up, I gotta go to work because I need it. I need this money. So I feel like self motivation will go a long way if you just grasp that and take it and go.
Literally. That's my take.
Hmm. So so what are so okay, y'all talking about self motivation. Okay,
Uh-oh.
that's all it's about for you. It's just money. Like what
Or it's not just
what
money. It's just like just to get up and do things. Like say like you want to go to the gym, you got self motivate you to go to the gym because you don't got nobody to go to the gym with. So you just got to self motivate yourself to go to the gym, whether it's gym money or go and do something. Cause you don't want to be lazy and stay inside all day.
Right.
Cause you ain't gonna get nowhere be successful in life by just sitting inside doing nothing. So you gotta self motivate yourself every time you wake up to go do something and so you can be successful in life and you can help people around you.
True.
so
I feel you.
so growing up I'm gonna ask both of y'all this question, but I'm gonna start with him.
Okay.
So, growing up in your household,
Mhm.
I know a little bit about your household because I was in your household. So, you have two parents that both are educated. You know,
Absolutely.
both have bachelor's and master's degrees. How do you feel things were portrayed to you? Do you feel like you're where you're at now because of self motivation, or do you feel like you was pushed that way? Do you feel like you was pushed too hard? What happened on your journey? How would you explain that? Did you have what you need, or you felt like you had less than when it comes to self teaching and motivating and
I feel like personally I had a lot and definitely grateful for it. Um I feel like it's partial self motivation, but majority motivated by y'all. Like just seeing what y'all do like daily, you know what I mean? And like how hard y'all work, and it motivates me, you know what I'm saying? Because I know I can't just like sit on my ass or nothing like that, you know? So it's like, all right,
pause?
so you know, like I feel like that motivated me a lot. Like just seeing y'all do y'all's thing. So it made me want more. You know what I'm saying? Like I hear y'all talking about your degrees that y'all have. So it's like, okay, yeah, I wanna make it far. I wanna do this. I wanna go get this degree, or I want this job, or I want this type of career. But I also, as I grew, I developed my own mind. My I developed my own way of thinking and what I want from my life. You know what I mean? So definitely I feel like it was hand in hand. Like I feel like it was half and half, you know, self motivation and motivated by what I see, you know, in my household. So
You, I heard you talk about your dynamic, and I mean, I know your situation too. Um, two different opposite things, but do you feel like you had what you needed, or do you feel like you just was pushed to do a certain thing?
I was pushed to. I would say I ain't pushed to go into like to work the same job my mom worked, which is the post office. I thought she pushed me into that.
Not a bad thing.
It's not because it's a good career to say it pays well,
hey,
Exactly.
making your bread.
but in a sense, like I didn't have that like motivation that my counterpart, my best friend, had. Like with the degrees, the parents with degrees and all that. I didn't have that. I just had my mom. She only graduated high school with a diploma, so really I had nobody to like really look up to get that have that motivation to go further than what I went, which is high school. I got my diploma. I knew I had to get that though, because all of the trials and tribulations I had to go through to even get that, because I had to go. I had a situation where mom's and her ex husband got divorced. It spiraled. She kicked me out. I went to live with my auntie in Atlanta. Went to that school. Almost wanted to drop out that school because it just wasn't working for me. I was about to go get a GED because I was like, man, this school is too hard. Like I wasn't used to it.
Mhm.
So I came back to Texas and I buckled down and got my work done. I graduated high school because I knew that's something I could do. So that's what I did. So yeah.
So basically, so if I don't think that was a bad thing, just because you didn't learn from someone who didn't have a degree, and
Right.
I'm not gonna say that it wasn't motivating because your mom basically gave you what she knew. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that's what we was talking about earlier, as far as for like a parent giving you what they know. And I mean, this may sound hard, but I mean, and harsh, but I just feel like when you get to that point and your parent done gave you what they knew, I feel like it's up to you afterwards if you want to go a
That's
different
real.
direction to self. You know, it's not like you didn't have the tools around you, like the internet's everywhere.
Right.
You know, if there was different things you wanted to do, you could have done that if that's what you really wanted to do.
Mm, that's
Same,
real.
same thing with you. I mean, like I look at a lot of kids like they fault their parents for a lot of stuff when they get to a certain point. To me, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I just feel like it's up to your parent to get you past high school. And once they do that, I mean, whatever you do after that, I mean, hey,
That's on you.
that's that's up to you. I mean, my parents, I mean, both of them was gone by the time I made 21.
Right.
So you guys older than that now. I mean, I didn't have that hand to fall back and reach if I slip. I didn't have them to sit here and just be like, hey, I need that handout. I need the handout. I need help.
Right.
You know. So I feel like it's about want, willpower, and different things like that. If you want to make it to a certain extent in life,
Mhm.
like if you want it, you're gonna go get it.
That's real.
And I mean, it's a lot you guys can do, man.
Yeah,
It's a
definitely.
lot that you can do on your own. Like, but coming together
Yeah.
as a unit and helping each other out
Real
is kind
deal.
of where it started. I just feel like we got a lot of young and older blacks here that do a lot of gatekeeping. Like,
Definitely.
I watch it in tech all the time. One person don't know something and they don't want to give that information to the next person because they feel like, hey, who might surpass me or this.
That's such like that's the problem. Like that's a huge. I'm glad you said that because like that's a huge problem. Like in the black community, like once we find something out, bro, we gatekeep, and it's like that's not how you create generational wealth. Like I know generational wealth may start in a household, like as a family, like by creating assets and stuff for the next wave. But it's like, bro, generational wealth isn't just to me. It's not just in your household. We need to be willing to help each other, like get it literally, because honestly, that's what like the opposite race does. You know what I mean? And that's why I feel like we're so behind when it comes to certain things because we don't help each other out. Like that is terrible. Why would you not want to help the next man win? And like we're not. I feel like we're so in competition with each other when we need to be working together. Like that's really sad to be honest. Like gatekeeping, like honestly needs to stop. To be honest.
Like, to
Like,
your
bro,
point, like all these other cultures, some of them live together in the same house and they all help each other grow.
literally.
Like they help each other with their credit, like build credit,
That
and
ain't
that's why
happening.
you see
That's
them
uh,
thrive because they helping each other help build credit, and they drive around these little nice cars and
literally
nice houses, and because they stay in one house at that one moment to help each other grow
right.
to a different level. And I think we
Literally.
don't do that as a black community because we want to gatekeep, we want to keep stuff to ourselves, we want to try to not help others. And that's just like I feel like that's wrong. Like we should just want to help everybody so we all can grow and thrive.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah.
So
We got a lot of gatekeeping, bro.
yeah, it's a lot to talk about, but we're gonna kind of try to wrap this up, man, and like basically just tell people like who we're here to help, which really is like that age group from 16 to 35, just kind of get them to change their mindset on life and different things like that.
Facts.
Um, what could people expect to hear from us
Man. Um,
in later episodes?
so what y'all can expect to hear from us in later episodes, man. Honestly, I feel like we're gonna talk about a lot of things, but literally more in depth about the problems in the black community because that's really what we want to touch on. But also we may speak about relationships, news, just news that need to be talked about, things that we may see that's really important, that just need to be said. To be honest, um, but also we want to pick y'all's brains. So also like when y'all see our videos, bro, comment, let us know what y'all want us to talk about, like things y'all may see, like, hey, can you talk about this, or hey, can you touch on this, or what do you mean by this, things like that. Just interact with us. We're gonna engage with y'all definitely. So we're here for y'all at the end of the day. So
So shout out to pages.
oh
Let them
yeah,
know what we're
man.
gonna
So
talk about.
definitely, my bad. I thought she was gonna ask me another question. But yes, man, y'all can follow us on Instagram at bhostfuhl. It's spelled BHOSTFUHL. On That's on IG, TikTok, and YouTube, man. Go ahead and follow us. And like I said, don't be afraid to comment and DM us on Instagram as well. So yeah.
Okay. So next episode basically gonna be about breaking generational curses. We're gonna talk about that, how that can be done. Gonna pick these guys' brains, and yeah, that's it. That's all we
Hey
got.
man.
Save a baby out,
Don't
man.
forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button.
Cause you don't, we come into your house.